I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice. Let us begin. You wake up, and it feels like the same day as yesterday. Not because of routine, because of something heavier. Like the past is replaying itself through your body, again and again, even when your mind is screaming to move on. You've tried. You've read the books. You've made the promises. You've set the alarms, cleaned the slate, bought the journal, joined the gym. And yet, it loops. You keep becoming the version of you you're trying to leave behind. The habits come back. The voice in your head returns. The fear of change, masked as logic, wraps its arms around you and whispers, "Don't bother. You've always been this way." And maybe, deep down, you've started to believe it. That people like you don't change. That life is what it is. That hope is for the naive. That the dream of transformation is just another lie you tell yourself when things get too quiet. But what if that's not the truth? What if the part of you that wants to change isn't wrong, isn't broken, isn't delusional, but is actually the most ancient, powerful, and sacred voice you've ever known? What if that whisper inside, the one that says, "More is possible," isn't asking for a miracle? It's asking for a return to who you were before life got heavy. Before fear learned your name. Before the identity you wear became a cage instead of a home. Because here's the secret most people never hear. You don't need years. You don't need permission. You don't need to become someone else entirely. You just need 30 days. Not of hustle. Not of willpower. Not of forcing a version of you don't believe in. But 30 days of coming back to yourself. One aligned breath, one micro action, one truth-telling moment at a time. Because change doesn't happen when you try harder. It happens when you become the kind of person who no longer has to try. And that begins the moment you realize your current self was built by repetition, which means the next self can be built the same way. You are not cement. You are clay. You are not fixed. You are forming. And every small choice you make is a sculptor's touch. So the only real question is, who are you shaping yourself into? Because 30 days from now, you'll still be you. But will it be the version you've been rehearsing for years, or the one you're about to remember? Stay here. What comes next isn't motivation. It's the blueprint. Let's make something clear. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're not just the way you are. You are loyal. Loyal to an identity you didn't choose but learned to survive with. The version of you that shuts down under pressure, delays what matters, says yes when it means no, isn't dysfunctional. It's adaptive. You didn't become that way by accident. You became that way through repetition. Through emotional patterning etched into your nervous system, long before you could name what was happening. You learned which parts of yourself were safe to show and which had to be hidden. You learned to anticipate moods, smooth conflict, or disappear entirely. You shaped your personality not around authenticity, but around safety. And the pieces you had to hide? They didn't vanish. They became your shadow. The shadow is every part of you that had to be exiled so you could belong. It's the anger you never got to feel, the sadness you had to suppress, the confidence you learned to fear, the creativity you tucked away because someone else told you it was too much. The shadow is essentially the unconscious self. The pieces of your psyche you reject, repress, or ignore because at some point they were unsafe to express. And here's the paradox. What you reject in yourself still runs you, just from the basement. You want change? Then you don't need more discipline. You need integration. Because if part of you wants to rise, but another part believes rising isn't safe, your life will become a loop. Start. Stop. Try. Collapse. Dream. Delay. Until the day you stop fighting the old version and start listening to it. Until you realize the fear is coming from a younger you, the one who needed to be small to stay safe. And when you finally witness that part, not judge it, not shame it, but witness it, you begin the process Jung called individuation, becoming whole. Not perfect, not enlightened, whole. This is the real work of transformation. Not changing what you do, changing who you believe yourself to be from the inside out. And once you do, every decision becomes easier. Every habit becomes aligned. You no longer need to fake it. You just become it. But here's the thing most people never hear. You don't have to excavate your trauma. You don't have to relive every wound. You just need a new practice that speaks to your truth now, not the story you outgrew. And in the next section, I'm going to give you that practice. Simple, repeatable, transformative. It will take less than 5 minutes a day, but it will change everything. Real change doesn't begin with motivation. It begins with identity. Not the identity you show the world, but the one your subconscious believes is true. The one you prove to yourself in small, quiet moments each day. So here's your practice. Simple, concrete, repeatable. Each morning, before the world has a chance to tell you who you are, stand in front of a mirror. Place your hand over your heart. Take a breath, plant your feet, and speak this truth out loud. I am someone who keeps promises to myself. Say it slowly, not like an affirmation, like a fact you are stepping into. Let the words drop beneath your thinking mind and into the part of you that holds your patterns, your memories, your momentum. Then act. Choose one small promise to keep, just one. Drink the water, write the sentence, lace up your shoes, open the notebook, sit in silence for 1 minute. It doesn't need to be dramatic. In fact, it shouldn't be. Because this isn't about the size of the action. It's about the message that action sends. You're retraining your nervous system to recognize, this is who I am now. This is safe. This is real. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're building trust with yourself. And trust, once built, becomes the foundation of everything else, from discipline to boundaries to self-worth. Because if you don't trust, you'll do what you say. Your subconscious won't take you seriously. And if it doesn't take you seriously, it will pull you back to the familiar, no matter how much you try to break free. That's why this isn't about goals. It's about identity alignment. It's about proving to yourself, day after day, that you've already started becoming the person you thought you had to wait to be. And the more you practice this, the more your outer world will shift to match the inner certainty that begins to grow. But here's the twist no one expects. This works even when you don't believe in yourself yet. Because belief doesn't come first. Action does. Repetition does. Gentle proof, over and over, until the old identity doesn't feel like home anymore. And in the next section, going to show you the part of yourself that never needed fixing in the first place, the one who watches all of this happen from a deeper stillness and who's been waiting for you to notice it all along. There's something you've probably felt in moments of silence, in moments of overwhelm, in moments when the noise fades, just enough for something else to come through. It's not a thought. It's not a feeling. It's not even a voice. It's awareness. The quiet observer behind all of it. The part of you that sees the habit before it plays out. The one who notices the fear without becoming it. The presence behind the pattern. You've met it before. In the shower, in the car, in the seconds before you fall asleep. That strange spaciousness that watches your life like a movie. That's not a trick of the brain. That's you. The real you. The one who doesn't need to try. The one who's always been watching. Gently, silently, waiting for you to return. And here's the truth most people miss. You don't need hours of meditation to access this. You don't need a retreat, a guru, or a ritual. You only need to pause, even for 30 seconds, even in the middle of a hectic day. One breath, one glance inward, one moment where you notice, I am aware of what I'm feeling, but I am not the feeling. You become the witness. And in that witnessing, the whole system softens. The compulsion loses its grip. The identity loosens just enough for something new to come through. Presence is not about control. It's about surrender. About letting yourself feel what you feel, without clinging or resisting. Because the moment you start observing, you create space. And space is where all transformation begins. So here is your second practice. Throughout the day, whenever you remember, pause for 30 seconds. No need to sit or close your eyes. Just drop in. Notice what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what your body is doing. And instead of changing it, just notice it. That's all. This 30-second awareness check-in is subtle, but it's powerful. Because it teaches your mind, we are safe to feel. It teaches your nervous system, we are not in danger. And it teaches your spirit, we are more than the roles we've played. This is not about transcendence. It's about coming home. Because once you've remembered the part of you that watches, without judgment, without effort, you can start to live from that place. And when you live from that place, the chaos doesn't go away, but it no longer owns you. In the final section, we'll bring all of this together. The practice, the presence, the proof. So you walk away knowing exactly how to live the next 30 days as the person you were always becoming. This is the part where it gets quiet again, where the noise fades. And all that's left is you, standing at the edge of something real. Not a goal, not a resolution, a choice. And not the kind you make once with a dramatic gesture. the kind you make every morning with a whisper. Because change doesn't come from intensity, it comes from consistency, from becoming someone different in tiny moments, until that version of you becomes the new normal. To recap, each morning, place your hand over your heart, look yourself in the eye, and say with gentle authority, I am someone who keeps promises to myself. Then do one small thing that proves it true. Something quiet, something winnable. It could be a sip of water, a 60-second walk, a single written sentence. You're not proving it to the world. You're proving it to the part of you that still wonders if you'll follow through. And throughout your day, whenever you remember, do your second practice. Pause for 30 seconds. That's it. A breath, a check-in, a moment of noticing. You don't need to be calm. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be aware, to become the witness to your own becoming. Because when presence returns, even briefly, your nervous system softens. You start to see the moment, not the story. You respond instead of react. And little by little, the identity that once ruled you begins to dissolve. You stop being the person who overthinks, the person who delays, the person who waits for the perfect moment to begin. You become the person who moves, who follows through, who makes the invisible shift day by day until the whole inner map rewrites itself. You'll notice you're not forcing yourself anymore. You're just living differently. You'll notice you don't need external permission to evolve. You just begin. You'll notice you don't need to believe in yourself completely. You just need to keep showing up, kindly, steadily, honestly. That's the power of 30 days. It's not about creating a new life overnight. It's about proving to your deepest self that something new is already unfolding. And when that part of you believes, the rest will follow. So go gently, go clearly. You already know the way, because this isn't about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. You did not find me by accident. Just as in your dreams, where every face you meet is your own reflection, this meeting was always waiting to happen. I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice, the part of you that watches behind the thoughts, behind the noise. You have searched in many places, books, teachers, voices outside you. But here, you are not being taught. You are remembering. If these words stir something familiar, then allow yourself to return. Subscribe. Follow. Not to follow me, but to continue this conversation with yourself. Each time you return here, you draw closer to the reunion already unfolding inside you. We have only just begun.